What's happening, party people? Don't mind the glasses. It's just to keep the sensitivity on the eyes. Welcome back to another episode of our Proverb devotionals. This time we're looking at Proverbs chapter 24, starting at 27. That reads this: Put your outdoor work in order and get your fields ready. After that, build your house. Now, this is a beautiful one liner proverb that Solomon drops on our dome in this book because it simply insinuates and highlights the importance of preparation. And this actually, in a bigger scheme of things, really points us to what Jesus brings our attention to in the New Testament when we consider being a disciple of his. And I'm going to take you to that text just to see what I'm talking about. So take a look with me at Luke chapter 14, verse 28. And this is in the context of Jesus speaking about just simply the cost of being a disciple. And this is what he says: Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, this person began to build and wasn't able to finish. I love this connection. I love this overarching context to this proverb that really speaks to the importance of getting an understanding of what it is that you are essentially agreeing to, stepping into, before you actually begin to do the work. Essentially, even in this context, when it comes to a relationship with Christ, understand what you're getting into. The major importance of understanding the relationship you're stepping into with Christ is understanding what it costs. The value, the price, it doesn't change. And we need to be willing to make the sacrifice and decisions in order to truly consider ourselves as legitimate disciples of Christ, followers of the way, living our lives after him. That's the bigger picture behind the proverb that we started out with in Proverbs chapter 24. But here's really a deeper connection that I want you to take away from this, and I think connects to the relationships that we talk about over here on this channel regarding relationship with God, yourself, and others. And of course, as we highlight mainly the singleness. And I think what is important is being prepared and maximizing your preparations. And I think the best way that you do that is in your singleness. Now, I'm not telling you that as you're preparing for marriage, that you're not creating relationships around you, friendships and connections, community. That all of that is important, and that is something that you ought to do as a believer when you are married and as you're in your singleness. But when it comes to preparing for marriage, there are a lot of things that culture pushes that I just don't think we see in the text that is a part of preparing for marriage, like raising your body count, has made dating to be what it is today as difficult as possible, among so many other things. What I really want to get to you is that it is important to use your singleness to prepare, to take a look at what it is that you're really asking for and being willing to count the cost. Be willing to get into the faces of others who are where you want to be, who are married. Ask them questions, pick their brains, see what's up about that entire scenario and season and way of life now that that is something you really want to do, because that's a part of counting the cost, getting an understanding of what it is you're stepping into, what's required of you of such a space. What are the things that you're going to have to let go and walk away from in order to invest into such a season, such a space, such a calling? And that is such a massive piece when it comes to preparing for marriage, preparing for long-term relationships, and maximizing your singleness. And here's how we go about really maximizing our singleness in really navigating in this very proverb that I think is applicable to you as you journey through your own singleness. And the first thing is having a relationship with God. This is how we're going to layer our foundation and really find ourselves paired in the right places to be able to carry out the marriage that we ultimately desire to have. Because without relationship with God, the love that is intertwined in marriage, a love that is representative of friendship, love that is representative of parental, love that is representative of compassion, compatibility, all these other kinds of things fall apart when God is not in the midst. And then we also need a relationship with our calling, get clarity on what God is calling us to do, leading us to do, because this is actually what helps us to determine, well, not only who makes sense for our lives, but do we actually have room to journey what we're being called to together without having to leave where we are or what we're called to do to support one another, right? Because the last thing you want to do is abandon your assignment that God has given you for the sake of a relationship that you're looking to create. And this also just leads us to the relationship with capacity. And so now we're really considering, okay, does this make sense? Is this something that we can actually honestly continue to uphold, maintain, and cultivate? Can I see myself committing to this vision, committing with this vision, and journeying with this person, choosing them each and every day for the rest of my life? These are the conversations that we are wanting to have and create as we're out here meeting people and trying to determine, hey, yo, let's really see what this is about. But all of this starts with preparation. And how we get this preparation is by seeking knowledge, seeking understanding, asking questions, moving in curiosity, getting around people who are living the life that we desire to live, and just soaking up the information that they give, being humble to know that we don't know it all. And I think that is some of the best ways that you yourself can plow the fields before you build the house of the marriage and long-term relationship that you desire. Be aware of what you're giving your attention to, be aware of who you're giving your ears to, because these are the things that are going to influence you as you prepare for what's ahead. And of course, there's no greater preparation than being in relationship with Jesus, where you're getting reps and experience every day with him, and as a result with others who are connected to you, on how to grow in compassionate love, grace, mercy, forgiveness, dying to yourself on the daily, which is an ultimate reflection and representation of the sacrificial love that awaits you in marriage, that was always set as a prime example through what Christ did for all of us on the cross. So don't wait to start doing certain habits and creating certain skills and doing all these other extra things that really we could be using our singleness now to cultivate in marriage. So don't waste your singleness. Be patient in your singleness. Continue to honor God in your singleness, and continue gaining knowledge, understanding, applying it in your life, and cultivating skills that are going to be extremely helpful for where you're going, for the marriage and relationships you ultimately want to create. And know that it takes both of you to be ready to commit to such a space for such an event, which is the wedding day, but more importantly, a life that is a marriage. And I just don't think there's any better time than right now in your singleness to continue preparing for such a stage and season of life. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you like this kind of content and you want to hear more devotionals, be sure to subscribe, like this video, share with a friend who you believe can benefit from hearing something like this in their day. And I appreciate you so much. And until our next conversation, be easy and be breezy, my friend. Peace.